It was a little over 4 years ago that I reviewed the Milwaukee M18 Fuel 1/4-inch compact router right here. This is one of those tools that took a little while for pretty much all the tool companies to have go cordless. And the only thing is only been available in that 1/4-inch size so far. But then last year at the Milwaukee 2023 Pipeline event, they introduced the 1/2-inch router right here. And this is something I've been very excited to see and open up, especially like having that Plunge router base on it. So then I also picked up this optional accessory right here. This is the router guide rail adapter. So I'll show you how this works a little bit later on in the video. So let's get this video started and get to unboxing and testing this out. So I'll try to keep the unboxing part to 1.5 minutes so we can spend most of the time seeing how this thing works. All right, here we go. It comes in a bag just like before. So this is the bag from the 1/4-inch compact router. You can see I labeled it. So this bag is definitely handy, but I think I'm gonna put this in a pack out sometime soon. All right, here's the main unit itself. All right, this thing is definitely solid. Take a quick look at that all the way around. There, here's the tightening wrenches. You don't want to lose these. So this includes the rapid charger and then the XC 6 amp hour high output battery right here. So the other base for it. All right, then right in here, this is the 1/4-inch adapter right here. So you can run that. So this is a dust hood right here, so you can hook up dust collection to it. We'll see how that hooks up in just a minute. And that is it. So here we have everything out of the box, and as I mentioned, this was launched at the Milwaukee M18 Pipeline event. So what I'm gonna do is show you a clip from there, a short clip, and I think the product manager there does a really great job of quickly explaining this, because I could probably go on for a little bit longer than him. So then after that clip, we'll come back here and I will test this out myself so I can see how this works for me out of the box. So then this optional accessory right here is gonna come in really handy, I believe, for some storage solutions that I have with this router right here. So I'm really excited to take the concept I have in my mind and put it to practical use.
Hey everyone, my name is Joe Bloomfield, product manager for Milwaukee Tool, and today we have the industry's most powerful cordless router, the Milwaukee M18 Fuel 1/2-inch router. Our new router packs a punch, delivering the same power as your old dusty corded router with over 2¼ peak horsepower to keep those high bid RPMs and demanding cuts in hardwoods for clean passes. Secondly, you told us how important focus and control was in every router pass. Our body grip technology allows you to securely grip the tool by the console, enhancing stability and confidence in every single pass on the job site. Lastly, we understand that when you eliminate a cord, productivity is of the utmost concern. Our new router delivers over 225 linear feet per charge. That's 5/8 roundovers in pine with our kitted high output 6.0 battery. For our demo today, we're going to be routing a 1/2-inch shank ravening bit through hard maple material. This router is in a league of its own, available 9/1. Also available with our new Milwaukee M18 Fuel 1/2-inch router is our available Plunge base, which is included by itself or with the kit, as well as our new Milwaukee guide rail adapter. This is compatible out of the box with our new 1/2-inch router, as well with our trim router, which has an adapter plate you can just fasten right on here.
All right, I just have to say that I love Joe's enthusiasm for this router right here. Actually, the base that he was using is the fixed base right here. You can see it has that hand groove on there like that. So it's interesting, I was thinking about my history of using routers, and my very first one was given to me by my Uncle Bob. It was a Rockwell, the classic green color. So here's a vintage one that I found online, similar to the one that I had. I don't have it anymore. So when I think about this Milwaukee one right here, I want to say that this one is very easy to use and it's very well built. So let's take a look at all the features. So I was just taking the motor out to put in the plunge base, and I thought I should just show you real quick a comparison between that and the compact router motor. So you can see the difference between the two. So this, with the 2¼ horsepower, that really has a huge difference over this right here, and be able to run 1/2" bits. So you can see this is going to work out really well for your more demanding applications with that 1/2" size versus the 1/4" size right there. So while I have this out, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you these 2 LED lights right here. So these definitely do a great job of lighting things up. So when you put it in here and you have that clear dust shroud right there, it just definitely illuminates everything, as you can see right here. So it's very easy to install the motor in either one of the 2 bases. So we're going to start with the fixed base first. So you can see it has that threaded rod right there that goes in the hole right there. So you push in that release right there. See, it just slides right in like that. It clicks, and then you have this lever that you push down firmly to lock it in place, and then you're all set. So right now we have that all the way down. So if you want to make your adjustments, you would push that lever back right there. And then when you push this in and go up and down, that is your macro adjustments. So then this little item right here, this is where you make your micro adjustments. So you can see when you turn that, let me get a close up for you. So right here's your dial. You see if you turn it that way, you go up, and right there is the arrow showing if you go that way, you go down. So very precise. And like I mentioned before, when you're done, then you want to lock it in place right there. So it's not going anywhere. So then right up here we have the variable speed control. It goes all the way from 1 up to 6. So then when it comes to the dust collection, you have this part that's included, and this will connect right here, this end, to most of your shop vacs for dust collection. And this right here locks on that right there, that clear. So that way you can turn that on and this will collect the dust in there. So what I like about this fixed base, it has this strap right here so you can put your hand around it like that, and it has an adjustable Velcro on there right now. Probably need to loosen it just a little bit. Then you can put your other hand on this grip right here, like that. So that really gives you a lot of control. So I'm just going to put this on speed 1 so you can hear it. So when you go to start it, you just push this up, and it's very fast. You hear that brake when I shut it off. So if you have to quick shut it off, all you do is just quick tap it like that. So you kind of go up and in a little bit to turn it on. Well, let's get the variable speed so you can hear that. So earlier today I was thinking back to some of my influences doing woodworking, and I have to say without a doubt that Norm Abram from the New Yankee Workshop is someone who really inspires me, and I used to watch that all the time. So many years ago when my wife and I were new homeowners, we would spend a lot of time doing some home improvement projects, and we were refinishing the basement. So at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when I'd take a break and watch the New Yankee Workshop. And I was curious to see if he had any episodes on routers, so I went on YouTube, and this is very interesting. I'm going to put a link down below to that video. It's something that you really should see, no matter what your skill level is. But first of all, he was saying when it comes to router bits.
Now here's a tip. Never, ever loan out your router bits. Sort of like your toothbrush.
Write that down. Norm's advice for router bits is to use proper storage. So when it comes to router bits, you're going to want to use a tray like this and have them all stored vertically. So you're not going to want to throw these all together like in a bag or a box and have them hit against each other. That's going to just be a bad thing to have the carbide blades hitting each other. So they can potentially chip and just do damage to each other. So this tray right here is something my son sort of made for me on his 3D printer. So we have these 1/2" holes and then these 1/4" holes over here. So this works pretty well. So when it comes to installing your router bits, first thing you want to do, for safety's sake, is take your battery out, and then you have that lock right there. You can loosen that. You may have to use the wrench, and then put that in. I'm just going to use a wrench, get that nice and snug. This is the clear dust collection hood right here. So this can either go from this side right there or from this side right there. It'll reach in. So right here we have these tightening nuts. These will come out. If I take those out, then this will slide in there. What we're going to do today is put it in this side right here, and I'll show you why. I want the hose to come towards me instead of going away from me for my particular setup. Then we have this U-rod right here. You may have seen me unbox. I didn't really say much about it. So the U-rod right here, there's these two holes right there. And then in this right here, you can see those two holes. So those all will line up. And check this out. See how that goes right through there like that? You tighten these little thumb screws, get those nice and snug, and then this isn't going anywhere. So the same setup right here will work on the plunge base. You do have to take the thumb screws and move them from here to there. So it'd be nice to have another set, but that's how it was shipped. All right, so now this is ready. We'll put this back in. So now I just need to hook up my wet dry vac to that. Now I put the battery in. So then you can either hold it on both sides right there, or you put your hand through that strap right there. So I'm gonna just hold it like this and just go right along here. All right, let's turn the vac on. Speed number 5. Yeah, very nice. So you may have noticed the sawdust flying. That's why I enjoy using a cordless router outside. I'm very happy with that. Give you a close-up look, see if that will focus for you. Tell me what you think. All right, so now let's hook up to the plunge base right here. Okay, so now to install this, that threaded rod, that goes right in there. And then we have that lever open, which it should already be open, but if it doesn't, then make sure to do that. Close the lever right there. So right here you can see you have your depth adjustment scale right there. And then this is your depth adjust rod right there. And then right down here, this is a turret. These are steps that are in 1/8 inch increments. So I'll explain how that works in just a second. So this dado bit right here, this is a good example of using that turret right there, because you don't want to, when you're using it, you don't want to take out a whole bunch of material all at once. You want to do it in 1/8 inch increments. But in other words, if you want to take out something that's quite deep, you're not going to go all the way through it, just hogging right into the wood. You're going to want to go a little bit at a time and just repeat the cut, going a little deeper each time. So that way you get nice, clean, smooth cuts. And that's how this works right here. So we'll get back to that in a second, but I want to show you when you're set up right here, you have that switch to turn on. And then with this hand right here, you have this will be my left thumb. So when you push that down, this easily springs up and down. So one of my favorite features of this plunge router is this thumb release lever. So you can just see, as soon as you let go, it just locks nice and solid in place. It's very awesome. Right now it's not going too far because I have that depth adjustment rod way down. So, all right, so maybe you know about this, maybe you don't, about it. Let's make it really quick. So when you're starting out, you keep it at that high point right there, and then you let go, and then that's where it's going to take out that first layer. And then when you're done with that, then you turn that one turn right there. Then it'll go down to 1/8 inch further. Then you turn it one more turn, it goes even further down. Same thing, another turn, even further down, and then one more is all the way down. So you can neatly remove that in several passes by using this right here and this depth adjustment rod. So this right here is the edge guide. This was in a couple different parts when I took it out of the box. So instead of that U-rod, we're going to take that out, and then this is going to insert in place of that. So I finished this piece of birch plywood a little while ago for a project, and then I realized now that I really should take about 10 inches off of it. So I'm using it to practice some of these runs with it right there. So I did a couple last night. It was getting a little bit dark, so right now I'm recording again today because of the better daylight. So as you can see with the plunge router right here, this is a lever, so I have it all the way up. And then I just set the depth adjustment, so when I'm ready, I can just go down with it, and that's right there in that groove. So we're gonna first start out by installing this rail guide right here. So you can see there are 4 holes in that. So that is if you want to put an auxiliary fence. So let's say you have, I don't know if I have a piece. So right now I don't have time to make an auxiliary fence, but let's just say I cut this at about maybe, I don't know, 12 to 18 inches and maybe, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so. Then I could screw this through this side onto that board. So then instead of having just the metal part touching the material as you're working, you could have it go back and then have this whole long section of that fence riding along right there. And that might just kind of help give you something smoother in case there's like a little divot. It'll just kind of ride that out. So I have everything set right now. I have these set screws back here tightened down. This, now I just need to attach my dust collection and move stuff off the table. So I just want to show you this spare base. This was something that in my unboxing you may have seen. So if you want to put guide bushings in here, this is something that would work well for that. So I have a quick question when it comes to dust collection. If you were using this, would you have the dust collection going towards you, or would you turn it around and have it go away from you and have this hose drag across the table? Please let me know down below in the comments. So the dust collection was not able to clear out the channel right there, but the table isn't full of sawdust either. There we go. So those 2 I did last night. This one's actually a little bit deeper. So you probably should do that in a couple passes, but you can see I took out quite a bit in one pass. Look at it from that angle right there. So one reason I would add to that edge guide additional fence, you can see right at the very end, I just had a little bit of a curve right there. So that longer fence going against that, that would just help keep that straight. So I have this 1/2 inch plywood right here. So one of my projects will be making some shelving, and then I can just put that 1/2 inch shelving right in there. And you can just see that's gonna be nice and solid. So I'm still working on my design, but probably later this summer you'll see me using this router on a project in my garage. All right, let's quickly look at the specs on the box. All right, this is model 2838-21, and what's included? So we have the router, the plunge base, the high output 8 amp hour battery, the rapid charger, and then the contractor bag. Okay, quickly looking at the specs. The collet size, you have both 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. The RPM ranges from 12,000 all the way up to 25,000. Variable speed, yes. Dual LED lights, yes. The base diameter, 6 inches. Fixed base travel, 2 inches. Plunge base travel, 2.5 inches. The length with the fixed base and battery, 10.9 inches. The width with the fixed base and battery, 6 inches. The height with fixed base and battery, 10.5 inches. And the weight with fixed base and battery, 8.8 pounds. So this generates 2.25 peak horsepower, so it's equivalent to a corded competitor. This has the best control and comfort, the optimized ergonomics. This has the body grip, contour, overmold, and strap. As you heard before, 225 linear feet per charge. And when it comes to the warranty, 5 years on the tool, 3 year on the battery. So as I mentioned, I had the router guide rail adapter right here. So I'm not gonna have enough time to actually demonstrate this all the way, but I'll take it out of the box and I'll show you with this rail right here how it works. All right, so this is it right here. Kind of a substantial unit. Then we have this right here. And then this is your depth gauge. So if you can see on the bottom right here, this is where it'll sit in this rail, this track right here, this groove. And it's very similar to the track saw, so you can tighten these down in case you have a little bit of play. Then if you can see this little button right here, you push that down and then that twists out. So that will lock into the rail right there so it doesn't lift out. So it looks like that'll slide there. So with this edge guide right here, you're limited. I can't go too much further than I already did right there. But with this right here, you can go anywhere in there. So if I want to go like right here and make another dado, I could do that. So let's take this off. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not reading the instructions, I'm just figuring it out. That's why I'm gonna make a video so I can properly read through everything, but we're just getting a first quick look at it. Okay, so then it looks like you take this right here, we'll go through there, and this, we'll go through there. Oh wow, this is, I'm looking forward to reading the instructions, but right away, everything looks quite easy and it just makes sense. So it's very well thought out. So let me give you a close hand look at what that looks like. So then you have this adjustable slider right there. So I can move that where I want. So I was thinking these knobs turn, so I am gonna have to read how you hold this to make it work. I would just think that you clamp these down and then just slide that along there. I often like to use these rail clamps right here with the track saw, but I think this is gonna really be important with this setup right here. So if I want, I can just put those in there. All right, this piece is probably obvious to most people. I don't know what it is offhand. It's kind of heavy. So that I'm going to figure out. But yeah, you can just see how that will guide right along there. Nice. So I definitely think that this is one of those tools, if you buy it, that it is just so well thought out, well built, that it's just gonna last you such a long time. And I don't foresee like any other models coming out for a very long time that are gonna be like a Gen 2 version of this, because it's just, like I said, very well thought out. So as I mentioned, there's that router video that I think you should check out. That just has some timeless practices that I think it's like 40 minutes long. The time just goes by so fast. It kind of brings back memories from like back in like 2006, I think is when that launched. But it's very practical, good safety tips, and some good projects that you may not have thought of that this will work on. So let me know your comments, your questions, and as always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Here's Leo, he's chilling in a sandbox. Hey Leo, what do you think about that router?